And you talked into my mouth. 2 ears to hear the sound of your heart. Beating me down. You know I like it when you bluff. And this city can be so rough. But we could skinny dip every day. It's only home here if you stay. I won't walk out without you now. And you talked into my mouth. 2 ears to hear the sound of your heart. Beating me down. I won't walk out without you now. And you talked into my mouth. 2 ears to hear the sound of your heart. Beating me down. And I won't walk out without you now. 'Cause you talked into my mouth. 2 ears to hear the sound of your heart. Beating me down.
All right, welcome back. We actually get to say welcome back now to the podcast, even though this is our first official episode. Technically, it's episode number 2, just because we had episode 0 going. But we've got Chill Russell in the studio today. We are in session at Jackrabbit Soundcheck. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well.
Good. Happy to be here.
Fantastic.
Welcome. Where did the name Chill Russell come from?
Well, I just popped out of thin air, really.
Who's Russell?
Well, Russell is someone who's quite a legend, actually. You see, there's this old guy named Bill Russell, who is a basketball player with the Boston Celtics from the 1960s, and he's tons of championships. So just kind of a play on the name. I mean, we were trying out tons of new ideas, getting a name together last year when we started founding the group. So just popped in our head one day, and I said, Chill Russell, and then we just ran with it from there.
And I would just say that we like names. Some of our favorite bands have names that are kind of like amalgamations or whatever. They're like the Dandy Warhols is a play on Andy Warhol, the Brian Jonestown Massacre, right? So I think that's kind of the direction we kind of took with that name.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
That's why I liked it. But Patrick came up with it.
It's John Cougar concentration camp.
I don't think.
I'm not familiar with that
Gnarls
one.
Barkley.
That was an Albuquerque, New Mexico band. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's
You said that was an NBA player, Bill Russell?
Yeah.
Back in the
Are you
60s.
guys basketball fans at all? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
big
totally.
time.
Okay, right. I'm not, so I'm asking.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I like that vintage stuff too.
It's-
The whole. It's kind of it's just a kind of hip.
A lot of people don't even know who he is. I mean, he's won the most rings out of everyone, but
he
no
has
one even knows.
12 championships.
Wow.
Yeah.
and you guys have some cool artwork going on along with all your amazing music. Who's your artist?
We hired Billy Buck, who's this local artist here in Austin, does a ton of flyers and posters for local shows at the Mohawk on Red River, a bunch of stuff like that.
She's in an all-girl punk band called Sailor Poon.
Yeah, she's in this other
They're
band.
really
So.
Another
cool.
one of those
Sailor Poon.
name
Yeah, that's
amalgamations,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we see a lot of that stuff everywhere. And so, we felt like her artwork was the right style to fit with our kind of music, what we were going for. And so, she's just a natural choice, and she was really excited to work with us about that. So
And we were excited to work with her.
yeah,
she
totally.
did an amazing job on the design too.
Yeah.
It's a killer cover for the album.
Oh, yeah, completely. I think it's a great album cover that just kind of, grabs you, and you see it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see it on tons of record stores around here soon when we
Yeah,
release it.
Waterloo and Antone's.
Yeah, so we got a few deals in the works with that. So, it's going to be there. And I felt like it just pops. You're going to see it. You're going to want to pick it up and look at it.
I want some merchandise.
Oh,
we got to get some T-shirts made.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
we gotta have t-shirts.
Stickers.
We're going to put her design on a T-shirt, actually. It's going to be a black shirt with the green
I
demon
gotta
woman
have it. I gotta
on a
have
monster
it.
Yeah.
truck. Yeah.
Way cool.
So,
We also have a really cool logo that Colin's sister designed for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the idea behind that, I guess?
Well, it was really Mark's idea, wasn't it? For the
Most
logo?
things are.
Yeah.
Just playing pass the buck on ideas here.
Yeah. It's an ice cream cone, and we're kind of going for that sugary, bubblegum psych sort of look. So I think that we've actually been kind of playing with that with our photo shoot. We did a photo shoot today, actually. That's going to be for our press
Yeah,
photos.
it got sticky.
It got sticky.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
Sticky sweet.
Were you guys in the ice cream?
We were.
Well,
we had ice cream.
eventually.
we
Yeah.
brought a cooler full of ice cream.
It gets hot in Texas.
And
Austin,
it was
Texas.
hot today, late October, and just melting all over my fingers and hands. It was gross. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, it was
Okay.
messy. But you do these things. It's
Yeah,
sacrifices
you
you got to
suffer
be
for
made.
Yeah.
your art.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So you guys, it sounded like a minute ago, y'all were kind of touching on the new record y'all have coming out. So have y'all decided when you're going to release that? What's all the info on that? Just for the listeners, for yours, for ours, what can they expect and when can they expect it?
Sure. So we are putting out a record on Saturday, November 12th, here in Austin, and it'll be sold everywhere. Through on the internet and in record stores locally. We're playing with some great bands, Coattails and the Sun Machine, and it's presented by Overload, which is sort of a tastemaker blog here in town. So. That's when we're putting it out. It's a 5-song EP. The first record was sort of kind of thrown together with some songs I'd written and then kind of brought these guys in. This one is much more collaborative in that these aren't all my songs. They're sort of a team songwriting effort, and definitely kind of pointing us in the direction we're going to go with our first LP, where we're kind of sharing the workload and the songwriting load and doing a lot of harmonies.
And we're actually releasing it on cassette.
Yeah.
We're taking it back to the tape.
Yeah.
And
Collector's item
digital,
there.
of course. But we had an idea to do something a little different. Go back to the cassette tape. So
Sort of a-
you have
sort of
to
a collector's item.
break out your old school tape player.
And how many of those are you guys going to order?
So far, we're just doing a 50 limited edition, but
Yeah.
we'll see how
Start
how those go. Because again, with the record stores, they might go quicker than we had anticipated. So we'll just see what we can do there. And then, I mean, most people nowadays are either listening to things analog or digitally. Obviously, there's only two options, but there'll be, I think that we're going to do a lot of downloads. People are going to do a lot of downloading of our stuff, and then we'll just have the collector's item.
So get
for
your
people.
cassette tapes while you can.
Yeah, get them while they're hot. Get them while they're
That's right.
hot.
We're going to sign a number each one of them too, and they'll all come with a download code as well.
Yeah.
Damn, that's awesome. So where and when is y'all's EP release going to be?
Our EP release is going to be on Saturday, November 12th at the Sidewinder on Red River. And we're playing with Coattails and the Sun Machine.
And the
And what-
record's called "And Yet We're Captivated."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I like
It's a
that. That's
captivating
nice.
record.
Yeah, that's a nice name. When does the show start?
The show's going to start
10 p.m.
about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So music start on 10 p.m.
Okay.
The cover is $6, but it's only going to be $3 if you bring a can of food for a donation to the Central Texas Food Bank.
That's awesome.
We're trying to help put forward an effort to really just stock up the food bank leading up to Thanksgiving. They need a lot of time of help that time, this part of the year.
Right.
Because, it's just getting cold and people are hungry. So, we're trying to do our part to.
Like
That's
that
really cool.
can and $3. That's all you need.
Yeah. So, any canned food works. Just bring anything sealed and, you can get a discount. It's half off your cover. And
And are y'all working with somebody for that, or y'all kind of taking care of that yourselves?
that's being handled through Overload.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Austin Food Bank or whatever it's called. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
And Chase,
Okay.
you said that you guys have somebody sort of doing publicity stuff.
We just started working with Penny Loafer PR. It's a PR company actually split between here in Austin and Australia, actually. So they're going to do some promotion for us leading up to the release and the show. And we're really excited to be working with them. It's cool. They work with Darkbird, who's a really up and coming band here in Austin. They're playing in New York now. They're opening for bands, so they're really cool. So Penny Low for PR. It's going to be the first time we work with them, but we look forward to seeing how that works out with them.
Are you guys planning to follow up this release with a tour?
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a local regional tour, and then we're going to start working on our first full length. So we're going to do some regional stuff, do a full length. Of course, we've got there's Free Week and South by Southwest coming up, so we're going to try to plug a few singles off this record, do some music videos and stuff to kind of keep this record to hold us over through South by Southwest. And by that point, hopefully, we'll have all our songs in order to do a full length release and see where that goes. I mean, I think our sound is really taking sort of an interesting turn now, in that we're kind of doing a little more psych stuff, which is a lot of fun. So.
Well, listening to what you guys had online, because of course the only thing that I've heard online so far is the 5 songs that y'all have up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And from what y'all have going there with the, there's production and everything, you got kind of the psych sound and everything with the modded guitars and all that, bringing it in here to be an acoustic set, it actually translated really well. And I was actually really surprised as to how well just the songs translated in here. Have y'all always played acoustic, or has it just been more of a recent thing?
This was our first acoustic performance. Yeah,
first.
We literally
you guys heard it here
never play
first on In
acoustic,
Session at Jackrabbit
This is the
Soundcheck.
first.
Right,
This
yeah.
is
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah.
We
So-
pretty much
Yeah.
just spent like the last couple of weeks working up the acoustic stuff, but we hadn't ever tried it.
But the
that way
songs
before.
stripped down are
Yeah.
still, I mean, they're good songs. So when
Yeah.
you strip them down, they're
Right.
still good songs. It's just that normally when we play loud and live, we mod the guitars, and like you said, and just go with a lot of reverb on the vocals and things like that. But here it was nice. to
Yeah,
kind of strip it
the
down.
harmonies really come out with the acoustics, and the energy stays with it, but it's a little different, and it kind of turns into something new. So we like what we did here, and always love recording here. Jackrabbit Soundcheck.
Thank you. We love having you.
Oh yeah,
It's great.
We liked it a lot too. It sounded really nice, actually. I think hopefully the listeners here will enjoy everything. Getting down to, I guess we can start getting down to the music. We opened up with a song called "Talk." It's off of y'all's new record, correct?
yes.
Okay, so there are going to be 3 songs that you guys play for us tonight that are going to be off of the new record, 2 from the old one, which I'm excited about the fact that you guys are bringing more new stuff than old stuff here to this format and everything. But let's talk about the song that you guys opened up with first. Who wrote that?
I wrote that, Mark.
Mark wrote the song.
Okay. And I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how many of these songs are all collaborative efforts or,
I mean, really, there's usually one main songwriter, and then we kind of build on it. So that's a song
Yeah.
I wrote on an acoustic guitar in my bedroom.
And
right,
Talk
with these guys.
was really the first song that had been written off the new EP. So
Right, so we've been playing for
we
a
had
while.
finished the first one, mixed it, mastered it, got it out, and we really just wanted to get going again, right out of that. And so Mark came with that one. That was the first one we had and put together as a song, and it came together really quick too.
And then Colin sang that one. That sounded very Beatles-esque, Paul McCartney. I heard some influence in there, which is
Thank
all
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So what happened is Colin joined the band. He was the last member to join the band, and he sort of had a backlog of songs kind of written. I mean, he still has a catalog of his own material. So we're slowly integrating his music into our own, and it's sort of taking our sound in this new direction. And so that was one of them. That was the first one he showed us, and we were like, yeah, that reminds us of
But that worked out really well because it just fit really well with sort of the sound we had
Exactly.
with Talk and
Low.
with Low and Want You to Use Me, which is not, we didn't play today, but
Right.
that'll be
Yeah.
on our new EP as well.
Exactly. It's all that kind of 60s reminiscent stuff mixed with a little bit of modern.
But really, Talk, I think, kind of in the best way defines the new sound that we're creating, and we're not intentionally going for a new sound. It's just all 4 of us kind of blending everything together. So that was what we chose to be the lead single off of the EP, and it kind of hints at the new direction that we went.
And
in
that
on
kind
the
of
EP.
reminds me of something I wanted to say about it is that, when I wrote it, it's just chords and lyrics, and I come to these guys and then they add their own flair, right? So I didn't write, there's a part in the chorus where Colin says, talk, 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 talk. And there's, these little guitar licks that Chase comes up with, and Patrick comes up with this sort of bubblegum, sort of surfery kind of beat. So, maybe that's not exactly in my mind when I'm writing the song, but then I bring it to these guys, and that's the collaborative part where they all pitch in their own a piece of the puzzle. And that's what makes it a song that is a collaboration and something that
That's the beautiful thing about being in a band. You know what I mean? It's not just what you've got going on. You've got third party input for what's going on.
Exactly. We're all speaking the same language. And,
right.
Yeah.
But if I can ask you what, I don't want you to get, I guess, too specific, because I think part of the beauty of a song is that each person who hears it interprets it a little bit differently. But for you, what kind of is that song about?
I would say it's a song from the perspective of like a hopeless romantic, sort of. It's like, I'm not going to leave here without you, and you're kind of, it's kind of about being fucked up, and like, you're talking into each other's mouths. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation with somebody you like, and you're, whether you're at a bar or a party or whatever, and you're just kind of talking at each other because there's just this sparks flying between the two of you. So that's what's in the chorus, and then it's just that it's. I'm not going to leave without you. We're talking. This is such an intense, flash in the pan sort of thing. So that's kind of the theme of that song. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. So I'm not a big fan of labels, but you guys have been, called psychedelic rock or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What are most people considering you? What do they feel when they hear your music?
Oh, it's tough because we actually hear so many different things from fans. I mean, one person will say we sound like, whoever so-and-so, another says we sound completely different. And I think from each song, there's kind of a little bit of a genre shift. So I don't know.
We've been called. I'm sorry.
I mean,
there was a review where we called pop, experimental,
I think,
psychedelic.
Yeah, that review also maybe called us like an alternative band of sorts.
Of sorts.
Whatever that is.
What is alternative?
Sounds like
It's
kind of a
just not
half-assed
mainstream.
description.
Right.
We've heard someone say a song sounded like the Beatles, the
Right.
Rolling Stones,
Yeah, there's that psych
Dandy
stuff.
Warhols.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
shoegaze.
just coming from
Gin
so many
Blossoms.
directions.
Right.
Gin
Blossoms, yeah. We've been hearing
Actually,
Gin
never
Blossoms, yeah.
heard Gin Blossoms.
I heard the Gin Blossoms.
I'm not-
Someone told us that.
we've also gotten things out of left field like Pixies and
Yeah,
which is great.
Pavement
We
is
love all
kind of
that. I mean, all
a
of those bands are,
90s alternative band.
I've heard The Clash once, which I thought was very surprising.
cool.
It's weird.
but-
Like, people
I know, who doesn't? But
people don't know what they're listening to,
Which
and
is good.
yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be, pigeonholed.
You don't want to be pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Not at all.
Well, that's awesome. I think, and especially that, as far as the Beatles go, I think that Working So Hard was very, very Beatles
yeah.
style.
Not to mention he's playing a violin bass.
Yeah.
Yes, hot
Yeah.
violin
You can
bass.
see
Paul
the influence.
McCartney played,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
gives it that sound.
So, all right, kind of going back a little bit, how did you guys all meet, and how did you all come to be in a band? How long have you all been in a band?
Well, this band has been active and publicly, gigging since February this year, 2016.
Oh, so y'all are like brand new.
This group
This
is
group.
brand new.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
And
But you
Phil
and
Russell,
Chase used to play together.
we
right?
did. We've been in bands before and done stuff like that. But this group came together over the course of the last year, where Mark and I have, gigged previously together in groups in the past. And, I've known him, Mark, the longest. We went to high school together in Houston. I've known him for a good 15 years or so. And along that path, we've had tons of, jamming and writing and just gigging with, a lot of different people. But now we've come together with this new group to where, we spent all of 2015 kind of building up our first EP, writing it, recording it in snippets there and here and there. So now that we got the group together, we got Chase and Colin involved to come together and bring it forward. That's how we started it.
So me and Patrick played in a band together. Patrick and Mark played in a band before that. And Mark was working on new music. He was working with Patrick. I came in, I did some recording. We had some other guitar players and bass players come in and record on that album.
Todd Siff on vocals
Todd
and
Siff,
organ.
done a
Free
lot
Runner,
with
who
us.
recorded here, collabed
Yes,
with
they
Gemma,
did. Yeah.
who recorded here, and you were here filming, right? And
This is my first time here.
oh, this is your first
Yeah,
time here.
this is my
Way to
first time
go,
here.
Vance.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
somebody was here filming.
Somebody
but
else who's really good looking.
but
Anyway, like these guys were working on this album, and it was a really fun recording project. We just all, put in a little bit. We did some mixing, we did recording, and it was really kind of on the fly where we wrote these parts and put it together. And then when it came time to release it, Mark needed a band essentially, so they had a guitar player, and I said I'll play bass. I had
And that guitar player
You know,
didn't work out, and
nothing
so
else to
he
do.
got bumped up.
I moved over to guitar, which is my main instrument. I just played bass in the band for the fun of it, and then Colin came in, and so that was when we put together the band as it is now, and started playing shows in February and through South by Southwest.
And it's sort of taken on a life of its own because these guys are great songwriters. So it's like, hey, this is going to be my thing, and I'm just going to, get a bunch of hired guns and make them do this, do what I want to do. Turns out they're great songwriters.
Now we work for free.
Yeah,
so.
it's best.
Yeah.
So Mark and Patrick went to high school together in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you guys out this way to Austin?
At college.
Yeah, we went to Texas State in San Marcos. So,
Okay.
we lived there. We were actually roommates our first semester too.
Yeah.
So
Lots of crazy stories.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. Let's
shared
have
a
a few
bunk
more
bed
beers
that
and see
year.
what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
Texas
both
State.
slept on the same level of the bunk
I
bed.
had the
don't know
top bunk.
I got dibs on top bunk. All right.
So yeah.
Well, awesome.
Took a weird turn.
That's the only way this is supposed
Yeah, we
to go.
almost
It's
had
only
dead air there for a second.
yeah.
There's kind of showers where you had to wear flip flops. So
Isn't that all colleges?
But I met
University?
you, Mark, back with the Collabajamma whole project.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you were playing. I didn't know you wrote songs or any of that.
Right.
So it was a surprise to me when Chase was like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing in a band with Mark."
Yeah.
And he's like kind of one of the songwriters, started to help
Yep.
start this thing. And so I was like, "Oh well, that's cool." He
Yeah.
always seemed like a cool guy. And
Yeah.
when I heard the music, he played it, and I was impressed.
Thank you.
And so I'm
I
glad-
remember meeting you because it was like you guys, I guess, had worked together, you and Chase, and I knew Vance has a recording studio, so it's like, okay, cool. Well, let's go check it out, So then there was a couple times where I'd kind of seen you at different shows and things like that, and it was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just say hi and kind of meet him, and here it is now. It's kind of come full circle, and we're here in your studio. So.
Was that your brother that was videoing?
My
cousin.
cousin.
Your cousin?
Yeah, Wes Matkin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
and he actually did the
the video.
cinematography and directed our music video too.
Novocaine.
Yep, Novocaine.
Yeah.
You guys need to check that out if you haven't seen that. That's
yes,
cool.
we have a
Yeah.
video off our first EP called Novocaine. We shot it ourselves. It's very self-produced kind of thing.
Find it on our Facebook page.
That's right. It's on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. It's facebook.com/thechillrussell, and you can go find it there. So
It's on our website too right now.
and
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
In
Appreciate
session, jrss.com.
WordPress.com.
Oh yeah.
It's actually linked now to .com.
Is it linked?
I mean, I didn't change it, but it's linked. But we need to make it where it's direct to .com.
You guys can figure it out. Just Google In Session at Jackrabbit Soundcheck. I'm sure you'll find
Yeah.
our website. It'll be all right. We'll get it
If
set
you're
up at some point in
listening,
time.
you know where to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this, you found us.
click the
somehow.
link
You're
below
fine.
this video.
Like our pages. Like our pages.
Like
Yeah,
every,
everyone.
like every
Everyone,
page you
yeah.
see, okay?
Yeah.
Just don't hold back.
Chill Russell In Session at Jackrabbit Soundcheck. Follow us, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the standard stuff. Okay, well, I guess let's go ahead and hear Low. So we'll go ahead and have you guys play for us, and then we'll continue talking.
Time won't wait on me. It's not easy to change the things I could never see.
Wow, that was a rockin' tune.
Okay, so talking about Low, who wrote that song?
I wrote it
did,
actually.
yeah.
Chase wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always write songs or snippets of songs and record them on my iPhone. And, if it makes the cut, it gets to the next stage, which is on Pro Tools, and I'll just record a little demo. So this was one of the songs. I had no idea what it was for, which band or whatnot. And I recorded it. And, I think at that point just had one or two songs off the new EP. And, this song was really like kind of speaking to me as, being kind of catchy. So came to these guys. I actually texted them all. We have a group text. I said, this week we're gonna try out a song. I think you'll like it. It's like you'll hear some of my influences and kind of like the '90s alternative thing. So I brought it to our rehearsal. We rehearsed on Mondays. Brought it, played through it, and it was just one of the songs that's really easy to pick up on. And so they picked up, and we, I think we hashed it out that night. I already had all the vocals, lyrics written out, and we just wrote the other parts. So yeah.
So how often do you guys practice per week?
Usually
once.
once a week.
Yeah.
Once?
Once a week.
If we have a show coming up, we'll do maybe a second just to the day before or something.
And are you all connected like in any other way? Like say one of you guys gets an idea on, drums or guitar or vocals or something to like when you're not at practice, to hook up with the other guys and be like, hey, I've got this. Let's see, what can you do with it this week before practice or something like that? Do you guys have a way to do that or?
Colin is pretty proficient at recording, sort of MIDI instruments, and he'll kind of map out things and then bring them to the group. And but for the most part, like with Chase's song "Low" that we were just talking about, he just brings it in and shows us the chords, and okay, cool,
Yeah,
and then
I
we
mean,
kind of groove on and see what we can figure
He
out.
came in with just like a guitar riff, and
Right.
we just built it off.
Yeah, and lyrics.
And lyrics, of course. But yeah,
I think that's typically how most of the songs do come together. Is it usually someone brings us like at least some kind of roadmap for a song. There's a riff and some lyrics, and that's the general kind of foundation you pour on that song, and then you bring it in, and then we all add our own input to it. It's like for me with the drums, I always kind of build a drum layer on it, but I work with them to build one that fits the sound and style that they had in mind originally, but it's my job to put it down on paper per se, so.
And we're open to suggestions as well. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, like there's a song off the new record called "Want You to Use Me," which we didn't play today, but it's it was basically a couple of chords and some shouting, and then these guys came in with, oh cool, maybe I could do this kind of thunderous tom beat that Patrick came up with,
Right.
And then we've got a little instrumental breakdown that's kind of, it's almost like Mars Volta sort of style that
Led
Chase came up with.
Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah, and then we have that little refrain, sort of that hook at the end where
Yeah.
we kind of come back. So, even though the song came from my ideas and it sort of is my song, right? It became its own thing once I brought it to these guys, and it just took this whole new direction.
That's the beauty of being in a band.
Yeah. I think that's a theme that we're coming back to
Right.
during this podcast, is that these things you might intend for something to be one thing, and then it tends to grow when you have other people involved.
Yeah,
especially people you can communicate with,
Right.
and get along with.
Yeah.
Awesome. How much? So when you guys are writing, I'm coming more. I'm a lot less of a musician and more of a producer / engineer type. But when you guys are writing the music, how much of it? I guess it could probably vary, but like, how much is emotionally based as far as okay, this sounds good, but it might not fit the song, and how much of it is actually like based around writing something for the love of playing? This sounds awesome. Everyone's going to have a good time hearing this kind of deal.
That's a tough question to answer.
Yeah,
It's always
sorry.
something-
I think there are some songs we want to make more technically complex than others. I think it's a kind of a mix between whether we want it to make a song, very intricate and technically advanced, or more simple and catchy. I think
Yeah.
compared Low
Yeah,
to
on Low, when we wrote and recorded it, we, Mark said, all right, lay down a guitar solo, and I went home and tried to come up with guitar solo ideas, and I, messed with it for an hour or two, and then I came back to practice next week, and I said, I don't think the song needs a solo, and so we just ended up doing this instrumental thing at the end, and Todd actually laid down like Fender Rhodes and organ on it, and we let his Rhodes piano part be the kind of the instrumental to take us out of the song, and it fades out with Todd on the roads.
See, and to me, that's awesome, though. You know what I mean? Because a lot of bands will sit there and they'll be like, okay, well, we need to write a solo. And they'll write a solo just because, like, for the sake, the song needs a solo. But they don't really listen to it. And I don't know. I've seen and come across a lot of bands, a lot of people who are just like, they're just kind of set in their ways, I guess you could say, but they don't really they don't like to say no to their own creative endeavors. You know what I mean? Even if it's to the detriment of the song. So
You know what I like about you, Chase, is you're not afraid to play rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
A lot of lead guitar players, they just want to play leads, but you play rhythm guitar really well. And then when you do play a lead, people are like, "Whoa!"
Right.
He'll find a hook. Or
Well,
he'll put
you know,
little
I have to
intricacies in there.
play what fits the song, you know, and that's what kind of differentiates a guitar player in a band versus a guitar player who has a band, you know.
right, a songwriter
Yeah.
versus awesome.
Well, and I think that's, part of the beauty of just Chill Russell is we don't force anything on any of our songs. It all just sort of feels very
keep it simple.
natural. Yeah.
And some songs like Attitude. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go
but
ahead.
Attitude will carry a song like Want You to Use Me. That song's all just balls. You know, that's Attitude. When you look at a song like either one of the songs that you've written, there's a little more technical, complexity in those songs.
Yeah.
And so, when we talk about emotional versus compositional, I mean, they're all a mix of the two, but it's just to what degree.
Yeah, but I think the sort of underlying thing is, no matter what we're going for, they all sort of have this like hook that'll like stick in your brain, right? There's something catchy about the song.
Yeah. We are all about the hook.
Yeah. I think that's definitely something that this record has, as every song has something. Every song at some point has been stuck in my head, whether it's your song or your song or.
Well, and we like to hear, our fans say that they're a part of a song is stuck in their head, afterwards, or like 2 days after they see our show. That's the most satisfying thing.
It's working.
Yeah, it's working. You just got to get it stuck.
Subliminal messages.
Well, we'll get
Buy
to that
our
later.
record. Buy our record.
You buy.
Put it in reverse.
And that's, something from what I'm hearing so far tonight, every song has a different feel to it. You can almost tell that it's written by a different person, but at the same time, they're all cohesive. You know what I mean? Like they all fit within the same area, but, everything just feels a little bit different from each other's song. And like y'all were saying, you know what I mean? After you guys had played the song, I had it stuck in my head until you guys started playing the next song, and then it's the next one, But that to me again is a beautiful thing about good music, is when it can be written and it can stick with somebody. That to me it's pretty telling, at least personally from my point of view, if I like a song or not.
Well, thanks for saying that. Hopefully your listeners will feel the same way.
I hope so.
Episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1, baby.
By the way, it is great to be here for episode 1 of the In Session.
We are
Jackrabbit.
happy to
Honored.
break it
Yeah,
in.
this is our
break it
maiden
in.
voyage. I
First
guess.
of many.
You guys are our guinea pigs.
Crash and burn.
We'll be back for
We'll be back
episode
when we get
101.
with the LP, yeah?
When I
Yeah,
mentioned
I mean,
it to
we'd love to-
Chase, he was like, I want to be the first one. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I'm so
do it.
excited about this. I think it's going to take off. It's just great for music lovers and musicians and just anyone and everyone involved in
Yeah,
music.
local bands. I mean, this is a great way to support the local scene and to get
Yeah.
people in this awesome studio. So
Yeah, this is a
That's
beautiful
what we're
studio.
hoping for.
I censored myself there. I was going to say fuck.
You did
Yeah.
well.
Well, dude,
We're on a
you kinda just
podcast,
did
man.
that.
Fucking cuss as much as you want. You're good.
Oh, yeah.
We're here in Austin, which is such a great, music community, and there's just big things waiting to happen, all across the board in the studios, with the audio engineering, with the bands. It's definitely something exciting to be a part of.
Well, we wish you guys much success and, following up this record with a tour and, get to do some amazing things and meet amazing people and people buy your record. And what do you think, David? Should we hear another song?
Yeah, sounds good. What's the name of this next song, guys?
It's Novocaine.
Next song's
Novocaine.
Novocaine. Yeah.
Novocaine? Okay, cool. This is Novocaine by Chill Russell.
Everybody ready?
It's a small bit of Novocaine. It'll take away pain from your pearly whites. It's needing a friend, but instead calling in the cavalry. When you burn it to the ground, and as you watch it crashing down, you feel alright, alright. I just wanted you to notice. Talking, that's all it can do. Everything I've got, I'll give to you. Sometimes starting over is the only thing you can do. And the sunrise in the morning is the perfect place to begin. And the sunset every evening is the inevitable death of the day. Yeah. I just wanted you to notice. Talk is talking, that's all it can do. Everything I've got, I'll give to you. Talk is talking, that's all it can do. Everything I've got, I'll give to you.
All right, so Novocaine, is that one of y'all's older songs? I know it's obviously on the first record, but as far as, since you guys have really only been playing since February, is that in line with one of the first songs you guys wrote and put together?
Oh, it's hard to remember.
When
I
did you
know
write
Desert
that?
Island Blues was the first one we did.
Yeah.
And
I
then
really like
think-
that song, actually,
Thank
Desert
you.
Island Blues.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I like
Yeah,
that one a lot.
yeah, that's a little grungier.
It was.
Novocaine was the one that was a little. It's kind of like Lonesome Crowded West era
Yeah.
Modest Mouse.
Yeah.
And so I think that because we love that band so much and that kind of has that reminiscent feel, we decided to make that the single on the record. And Novocaine is a drug that dentists use to numb you. So
I was wondering about that. Have you had some really crazy experience at the dentist?
No, it's just it really was.
Ball
It's
gags and leather.
that's just my personal life. But with Novocaine, it's I think the song was trying to kind of use Novocaine, the numbing, the painkiller effect to deal with like a breakup or like some sort of love sort of situation. And so then once Novocaine was the name of the song, it was like, oh cool, well let's have a fucking giant tooth.
Yeah, we had a crazy
brilliant.
idea for a video.
Another
Novocaine.
came out there.
Who's the giant tooth? Who gets to be the cool giant tooth?
That is Chase's fiance,
Yeah.
Linda.
She did
hi,
a
Linda.
great job.
So
Shout out
she
to
was
Linda.
fantastic.
Linda's our number one fan. Linda
Okay.
is awesome.
I
Yes.
love
Yeah,
Linda.
she-
I mean, I don't love Linda.
Yeah. Well, back
awesome.
off, buddy.
She's
Back off. No, she wore a giant tooth costume
That's
for
true love.
like
That's true love.
6 hours.
Yeah.
On
Skipping across
a rainy
Congress.
day when we
Mother's
recorded
Day.
the music video.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you guys rent that suit from Lucy in Disguise?
We
purchased it
tried
from
No,
Lucy in
we ordered it
Disguise.
from China.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, Lucy's had this pathetic little mini tooth
yeah, it was
costume.
not-
The
It was
head
not
popping
cut.
out. You
Yeah.
can't see that anyone's
But
eye.
Yeah.
we I liked we were the dentists
Yeah.
in the video as
It's
well. We had our own
the
little
whole
costumes.
video is a dream sequence, and it's a day in the life of the tooth.
Yes.
And the tooth just gets into shenanigans and just running all over Austin. And by the end of the day, it's just like, wasted at the bar and stumbling down the street.
Because that's what
And
happens
the video
in Austin.
was
throughout the
directed
day.
and shot by Chase's cousin Wes.
Yeah, Wes.
Who did an
awesome job.
His
Fine
first
job. Shout out to
music
Wes.
video, his music video debut. And he did a really awesome job.
I saw
with
that
it, too.
live footage, that live video, and she was on stage holding the sign. That
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had the
Make
two
America
show-ups
Chill
for
Again.
a show at the Mohawk.
That was a great show. That was a lot of fun. So Linda's a trooper, and I don't know how comfortable she would be with us talking about her this much on this podcast. So
She loves it.
Too late now. All right.
In the spotlight.
and it couldn't help making America chill again with all that.
Man,
America
we
wants
just need to make it
This is
chill
Yes,
again.
this is not a political podcast.
Yeah, can we just
get weird.
get past November and
Make it chill
Well,
again.
we're by rock and roll here. So
But yeah, the Novocaine, the video, the songwriting for me, I thought went really well with, I guess, the message or whatever you guys were trying to get across with the whole thing. The title kind of says it all. The video, the whole thing is just, it's slowed down. It's kind of, a lot of reverb and kind of space sound to it. And the whole thing fits very well.
it kind of feels like
Together.
you're high on Novocaine.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I
No.
think that's kind of that's the point, right?
yeah, it's a cool song. Lyrically, I think it's one of Mark's best. I mean, it's just some.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. He has some great, bizarre rhyming schemes in the song, and it's just fun to listen to the verses. And then the best part is the harmony. The harmonies we do on the chorus, which was kind of an afterthought. We had actually almost completed the record, and I just had this harmony pop in my head and overdubbed it last minute. One of the last things we did on the album, and that's,
Really
it's
fills
one
it
of
out.
my
Really fills it
favorite
out.
harmonies
Yeah.
to sing.
No, mine
actually,
too.
on
Mine
it.
too.
Yeah,
Very effortless.
yeah.
No, that's good. So that was kind of written. Well, it was almost written after the studio, right? I mean,
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was
yeah.
definitely an afterthought. Yeah, and it really worked. So
I had a quick question. I know that you use an electronic pad, Patrick.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you use that for.
Okay, so I have a Roland SBT SX sampler pad. I've used it essentially to fill in a lot of different synthesizer and keyboard sounds that, just help add to the fullness of a song. For example, in Novocaine, I have two old Kurzweil keyboards in my house from the early 90s and late 80s that my dad gave me. And so I've found some really old, cool synthesizer sounds that are, very like low bit digital kind of synth sounding, not so like polished as today's synths kind of sound. So I was able to fill in and record all that stuff at home when we were recording Logic or Novocaine in Logic at first. And then I was able to transfer those over to the Roland sampler so that when we'd play it live, I could hit those notes and be able to, replicate that in a live environment and add to it.
Because we play as a 4-piece, but if you listen to our record, it's a 5-piece because we always have keyboard. Or
a lot of
two.
people are going more in that electronic
Yeah.
sort of direction. Do you guys see yourself going more electronic?
I think it's
or
something-
continuing to incorporate that electronic
I
aspect.
definitely think so. I think it's something we're all influenced by bands that use that sort of stuff. And touching on it, we want to use the authentic, real instruments, and then we want to mix in that stuff. So I think, yeah, I mean, we're not going to become like Flock of Seagulls or anything.
I don't
but-
think we'll ever like cut out drum set from our recordings, but
Sure.
we'll use it as an
Yes.
instrument.
Right.
You know?
No, I think it's going to add a whole nother layer of things. Honestly, I see it as almost a fifth musician in the band. It kind of replaces the need of having
the other thing
a
is-
keyboard player.
we have a lot of interludes like between our songs, which
Yeah,
these are
in
kind
our
of
live show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in our live
Keeps
show,
it
which are these kind of
flowing.
And that's
exactly
that's
these
a
kind
good
of
point. I
drugged
didn't want to
out,
get to
big
that. Yes.
sounding things.
So whenever we play live, I've always never been a fan of just complete dead silence between songs. I feel like you lose the audience.
Or how
People-
about crowd banter? Like, hey,
Right.
so
It
just
gives-
flew in and boy are my
gives
arms
people the
tired.
chance to heckle you too. So we're trying to
Trying to avoid that. Get
no,
enough tomatoes.
but really, no. But a good example of how collaborative we've been through writing songs and stuff is that Colin and I have put together a ton of the transitions and stuff of our songs and sets. And really, he'll just come over and we'll hang out. Would hook up the MIDI connection to one of my Kurzweil keyboards and just like hit, start playing with sounds and all kinds of different things. I use the Alchemy synthesizer within Logic too.
Oh yeah, we'll go through like hundreds of different sounds,
thousands of presets.
just-
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we just dig through stuff like that, and then I can always transfer that to my Roland sampler as well. And that's how I program it, and I can put tons of delay and sound effects on it as well, and just play with it while I'm live. And so every time it can be somewhat different.
Cool.
So the keys pieces that you have on your Roland sampler, they're performed pieces that are recorded in there, like when you're playing them live.
Yeah, for the most part. But what I'm feeling with the new direction to that is I'd like to be able to play it more like it's an actual instrument too. Because from right now I'm using it mainly for sampling purposes. But I mean, there's all other kinds of groups.
And even
I'm
so,
seeing.
he still triggers it while he's playing the drum set, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
in time perfectly, and he's actually playing two instruments in the band.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I guess my next question was going to be about. Does that mess up the tempo? If you've got a kind of a pre-recorded piece that's being played, that the only way you can really play it at this moment is to kind of have it triggered and play while you're also playing the drums. Does that screw up the timing for anything ever?
Oh, that can be tricky. And, in order to, establish, so for something like that to be pre-recorded to a beat, that you
The
have
metronome.
You have to have the click
Right.
going through the whole stage. For the most part right now, it's just kind of synths
more of a
that
synth
generally
pad where
fit
it's just
the
sustains.
mold. Yeah, so we'll rehearse it and I'll understand how long it should last, but it kind of can transition and go through waves of which different note we're going through, especially in the chorus for Novocaine. It kind of
Right.
made it blend really well where I can hit 1, 2, 3, and then it's not going to be off beat. If you're going to, I've seen a lot of the bands use that same device for on stage where it carries the beat and you need to be synced up with that. So that's kind of the next level. But
Right.
you'd have to be rocking a click track on stage every time you play. So.
But I mean, even still, for listeners who may not understand, how that stuff kind of works on stage, it's kind of impressive, to see someone using a separate instrument aside from their main instrument that they're using in order to help out with the rest of the song. And they might, to them, if it's done well enough, they won't even notice. But at the same time, it's
Right.
like it's worth mentioning.
That's
you know?
true. I mean,
Yeah.
I see a lot of people using it, and they make it look really easy. So
Right.
It really fills out the sound, and as a concert goer, you might not notice it's there, but if it was gone, you would notice it.
That's what's interesting about this podcast is like we can do gear talk. We're here in a studio and we can talk gear, but we can also kind of make it. I mean, we're talking about our band and with our fans and things like that. So we can talk about these things in a way that's accessible to people. But then also, for the gearheads out there, somebody when we're talking about an SPDSX, they kind of,
So when your fans come to see, they're like, "What's that weird thing that he's hitting over
Yeah,
there behind
right,
the drum
exactly.
kit?"
Well,
And the
Tell
ones
me
who've listened to the podcast will know.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Well, awesome. So, gigs. What is y'all's process for getting shows, booking shows?
We work with a few booking and talent buyers around town. Lately we've got Penny Loafer PR is doing a lot of stuff for us. Overload has been very supportive, and we really like to play the Red River District here in Austin, which are some of the best clubs. But we've worked with several different booking agents, and right now, honestly, we're trying to kind of turn down some shows so that we're not overexposed and take the best shows with the better bands. And then we're going to hit the road and our booking agents are going to help us get shows
And
throughout.
what are the areas that you guys have planned as far as for your tour? Have
Right now,
y'all
just
planned that
the
out?
Southwest, so Texas, obviously, New Orleans, maybe some like New
Dallas,
Mexico, Dallas,
Houston.
Houston, San Marcos, San Antonio. That's
I know
Marfa.
people in New Mexico. If you guys
Cool.
need to hook up,
Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
used to live there.
Yeah, cool. I've heard Santa Fe is really cool. Albuquerque. So yeah, that's the plan. And then we've talked to some other people about getting us out to the West Coast. Places like Seattle and L.A. Portland, and then I don't know if that's
that'll
right
be
now.
after
That'll be after the LP.
Yeah.
And then of
Got
course
it.
we've done some East Coast touring with other groups and things like that. So I mean we definitely plan to tour the country with this band, and we're really excited to see what the future holds.
Should we play another track?
Yeah, that sounds good. This next one is Working So Hard. This is a new one off of their upcoming EP, Chill Russell. This one, I believe, was written by Colin.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so this is Working So Hard by Chill Russell on In Session at Jackrabbit Sound Shack.
1, 2, 3, 4. Every night when I get home, there's nobody there. I try her on the phone, there's nobody there. But I guess that I deserve this. I wish I didn't get so nervous when I try to tell her exactly how I feel. Well, maybe I just care too much that I can't give up when I know what could be there. We just need more time to share. But when my baby's working so hard, she's working so hard, she ain't got time for me anymore. And when she's working so hard, she's working so hard, might as well put a lock on her door. I know she can't help it. If you want someone to blame, then it's me that you're looking for. Now she's working so hard, she's working so hard, she ain't got time for me anymore. I try her on the phone, there's still nobody there. I try to let it go, but she's everywhere. It's getting pretty plain to see that she doesn't have a need for me, or at least not enough to fit me in her plans. Well, I want to give her everything, but space is what she needs, and it's not fair. Have to help her, I just can't be there when my baby's working so hard. She's working so hard, she ain't got time for me anymore. And when she's working so hard, she's working so hard, might as well put a lock on her door. I know she can't help it. If you want someone to blame, then it's me that you're looking for. Now she's working so hard, she's working so hard, she ain't got time for me anymore. If I could only get the chance to explain, you need her back, then she might think me a bit less insane. You need her back, just to tell her what she means to me. You need her back, and I'll be whatever she wants me to be. When my baby's working so hard, she's working so hard, she ain't got time for me anymore. And when she's working so hard, she's working so hard, might as well put a lock on her door. I know she can't help it. If you want someone to blame, then it's me that you're looking for. Now she's working so hard, she's working so hard, she ain't got time for me anymore.
All right, so that was Working So Hard off of Chill Russell's new EP. What was the name of that EP again, guys?
And yet we're captivated.
And Yet We're Captivated. Such a great name for an EP. So, Working So Hard. Colin,
Yes.
how did you come about writing that song? What does it mean to you? And how did you bring it to the guys?
Yeah. So I have, been playing music for a long time. But I've never been in a band where I've been like part of the creative force behind it. So I've just, had this like big sort of back catalog. Like every time I have ideas, I'll just try to write things down so I can remember them later and, have something coherent to, bring people
Right.
when I want to talk it up. And so, with working so hard, a lot of it was, influenced by that sort of like early to mid 60s kind of sound. Whenever I wrote that, I was probably listening to, a lot of like Rubber Soul and stuff like that.
Right.
Pet sounds.
Pet sounds, yeah. But yeah, I was able to bring it in, and it got really, positive feedback.
Are you a Paul McCartney fan?
I'm a huge Paul McCartney fan.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
People who don't know any better.
Well, there are people actually.
I just, you see somebody with a violin bass, and that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Who else do you
Beatles.
know, though? I mean, Paul McCartney and Colin Hansen, like the two guys with violin bass.
Both equal rock legends.
Well, I'm flattered, but I don't know that even you believe that.
Do you know other people that play the violin bass?
I do not. You don't see a whole lot of them.
I've heard if you put
out
flat
there.
wound strings on it, it makes it even thumpier.
Ooh, we should try that.
Yeah, we could definitely try
Flat
that.
wound.
So with writing that song, was that one more of, did it start more with a riff you were kind of playing on the bass on your own, or did you have like an idea that you actually wanted to get out on
No.
paper?
So that's the funny part of it, I guess. So it started out with I just had this riff, and it was a guitar riff or whatever in my head, and I like just jotted it down, as soon as I came up with it, and like months and months later, like I had this like completely separate idea that was more like sort of the lyrical structure of the song, and it just so happened that it fit like perfectly with the riff. It was like one of those really happy coincidences, I
Right.
guess. So then the song from that point pretty much wrote itself because I didn't have to, spend a lot of time thinking like, how's the music gonna go?
Right. Awesome. It
this.
wasn't one of those ones where you like write the riff in your sleep or something, right? Have any of you guys ever done that, writing music when you're just drifting
Yeah.
off or just waking up?
No, I've tried, but it never works out.
It's always like,
Yeah. It's an
I'll write it down
awful
in the morning, and then
song
you just
in the
forget
real
it.
world.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
forget it. It's gone.
It's just
Usually I'm counting sheep.
Yeah, right
But
on.
I'm wondering about that song because we haven't really talked about this. Is it autobiographical in the lyrical content?
I mean, I don't want to, get too much into that, but
it's about a lady.
yeah, no,
It's about a lady.
it's certainly, based on at least a slightly fictionalized account of something that's happened
Okay.
in my life. But yeah, it's definitely, I mean, with all my songs, I try to base it, on some real thing I've experienced or some real emotion or something like that, because I think it's much more convincing
Yeah, it's
to,
hard to
tell the story
make up
that way
completely. Yeah,
than to make up, something entirely, right?
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Writing a song that people can relate to, a story that someone can relate to. I think that's what people really get into. I didn't even used to listen to lyrics because
Yeah.
I was a
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Hey, watch it.
I can't write either.
But but most people they listen
can't
to
read
words
either.
and vocals and they don't and the beat. Hey, I can tap my
Yeah.
toe and
Well, that's what gets you first, and later on,
Get the
the
hook.
lyrics, that's what keeps you listening to the song, long term.
Definitely, and I think that it's hard to write a song that's convincing in an emotional aspect if you don't believe it, if you can't go there as the songwriter and as the listener. So if the songwriter is talking about something that's true to them, chances are somebody else has felt that, or even forget the lyrical aspect of it. If you play something that you like the sound of, I think that's a much more authentic way to write music, because if you're writing for yourself, the chances are somebody else is going to like it as well.
Yeah. Vance, you have anything you'd like to ask them? There are things you guys want to talk about, but I just don't want to skip over anything you might want to talk to these guys about.
What are your deepest questions?
I mean, I think that between the two of you guys, you could have a pretty interesting the producer conversation here. So
Yeah.
that's something I think we can
Well,
talk about.
I mean, I did how I got connected to you guys' scene was through Chase.
Yeah.
And Chase and I started working together at a music store, and basically, I don't know, he played in some bands that are friends of you guys, and next thing you know, he had his own little studio thing going on, where you go out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
travel.
It was a great hookup, in terms of the things we've been able to do together, and
Thanks for kicking me all the business.
oh yeah,
I mean, he was at the music store like, oh, yeah, I know somebody that can record. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
why didn't you just record them? He's like, yeah, I just go to other people's. Yeah,
Yeah.
these people want to go to a
well, you
studio.
have a great studio, but yeah, speaking of recording and interesting places, we actually recorded the EP at Patrick's house, and
Oh, right on.
yeah,
Yeah.
over
Okay.
the last couple of years, I've kind of recorded in some not ideal spaces, not recording studios, but I've recorded a band in their rehearsal space and
Right.
at someone's house and in their garage. So I've really kind of honed in on close miking and making the most of the space you're recording in. So we actually recorded in Patrick's living room. He has these nice vaulted ceilings, and we just pulled his drum set out there and actually recorded two of us live on each track and just went through each track like that. And we got a great sound in that living room with the drum set, and everything else we just overdubbed. Guitars, then lead vocals. Then we went to Patrick's dad's house, and he has a Hammond B3 organ and an actual Leslie speaker, and Todd came out and recorded on that. And
Really high
on the
ceilings
Fender
in there,
Rhodes.
too.
Oh yeah, it's like a cathedral.
And if you haven't heard Patrick play the drums, you're talking like if you've seen John Bonham play,
Yeah, and
he hits hard.
that's the sound we got out of that living room. Like just compress the drums. They recorded like as loud as possible, and it just sounds awesome. And the record is huge sounding, and even like it was so big and boomy that when we got it mastered, actually by Eric Wofford, he's like, "This record is really loud," and we're like, "Yeah," And he was also saying it was a huge departure from what we had done with the first record, and we're like, "Yeah, it's just completely different. It's like so rock and roll and loud, and it was fun to record, and we basically mixed it ourselves at his house as well.
Was there any sound treatment up at your place, or did you just let it go live?
We live, yeah,
Bare minimum, like
Yeah.
a little carpet on a tile floor
Yeah,
with, a vaulted ceiling, and drums were out there. We did isolate the guitar amp to the side room where we usually practice. So we had an isolation booth of sorts, but then the drums just let loose in the biggest room of the house with the highest ceiling. So, we used overhead mics, tons of instrument mics, and it just came together really well. I mean, wow, we had like unlimited studio time because it was my house,
Yeah.
So
See, this is kind of the interesting thing, though, because a lot of people talk about how the Foo Fighters have recorded all of their albums at Dave Grohl's house, but Dave Grohl has like a studio in his garage. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same thing. It's not like, actually being in somebody's living room while someone's trying to watch TV. You know what I mean? Trying to record a record. I'm exaggerating. But.
No, I understand what you're saying, though. I mean, yeah, it was difficult to kind of coordinate and get all that done, but we did over the course of like a few weekends, really, just on a Sunday, like we're here today.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that's what being an indie band is all about, is sort of do it yourself. And there's something that's raw and real about that and authentic that, that comes out in our music and comes out in the record. And I think it's true to ourselves. And I think it's it's interesting. So you hear it in the record.
Organic.
Organic, definitely.
Any of you indie artists out there listening, if you ever want to record out here at Jackrabbit Soundcheck, just give us an email or anything. You don't have to do it at your own house. Just so everybody knows.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, don't
is a great
studio. We'd
stick
love to
with you
record
guys.
don't do what we did. In fact, we would love to come out here and record. Vance just got a 16-track tape machine.
24.
24
We will be
track
playing with that.
tape machine, and oh my god, we want to record on it.
right, it does look great. I think the big difference between doing it at home yourself and coming to a studio and doing it is that if you bring it to a studio, it's going to get done a lot quicker than if we do it at home. It took a course of like 6 to 8 months to finish.
Yeah. Right.
So it's a lot slower if you do it at home.
And
but
you
if
want to
come
be the
here-
artist. It's
Not-
like
yeah.
all my friends are audio engineers and producers, but they don't really prefer to record themselves. It's better to be on this side of the glass or that side of the glass, not trying to do both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. No, I always feel safe when Vance is driving on a session.
And it's always good. Granted, look, I've recorded a lot of stuff my own, and I've heard a lot of records that have been recorded by people at their own houses, and I think they sound awesome. They do have that raw sound that you don't really get out of a studio, which I think is cool if that's what you're going for, which a lot of bands tend to. But me being an engineer, just going on the fact that you don't really want to do it yourself as much as you can. the last record I worked on, I recorded, I mixed it, I mastered it, I produced it. I did the whole thing. And if I could do it differently, at the very minimum, I would not have mastered it. I would have
Brink
sent
of
it away.
Disaster?
Yeah, I Brink of Disaster's record, which I really love, and I had a fantastic time working on it.
Sounds incredible.
But I would have sent it somewhere else for mastering just to get my ears off of it. You
Right.
know what I mean? And
It's
to
always
have
good to have
somebody
somebody
else
else.
listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I've done to it for the past however long I worked on it, but somebody else new will have a whole fresh outlook on,
If you like metal,
on everything.
it'll
Yeah.
tear your face off. Good stuff. Do we have another track?
We do. So before we get to plugs and everything, was there anything else that you guys kind of wanted to talk about, tell your listeners?
Well, our big release show for the new EP, And Yet We're Captivated, will be Saturday, November 12th at the Sidewinder on Red River in downtown Austin, Texas.
Austin,
Be there
Texas.
and be square.
10 p.m.
With Coattails and the Sun Machines.
Yeah, $3 on a canned good is what I heard.
Presented
That's
by
right.
Overload.
We're going to feed the hungry for Thanksgiving through our release show and then rock the faces off
Yeah,
everybody
doesn't
on
get
Red
better
River that
than that.
night.
Doesn't
Yeah,
get
so it'll be
better
a
than
great
that.
night. Music's going to be going all night long, and I want everyone to come out to it. It's going to be
Yeah.
fantastic.
And $3 with the canned good, that's awesome. I mean, everybody listening to this has a can of green beans in their pantry that's been in there for 2 years.
Can of corn.
Yeah, pull it out, take it to the show along with $3. Go check these guys out. You'll have a great time. You'll love them. You'll come away wanting to hear everything else that they have to offer you then and into the future with the LP coming not too long after.
Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you
It's
so
been
Yeah.
much.
fun.
Yeah.
And we just do want to say, visit us at facebook.com/TheChillRussell. Follow us on Instagram, The Chill Russell. What else we got? Twitter,
The Chill
The
Russell.
Chill Russell. Everything's
we
The Chill
have
Russell. So
it
just
all.
follow us on
Yeah.
there. And we just,
Yeah, it was great to be
Yeah,
here with
thank
you.
We
you guys
really
for having
appreciate you
us.
guys coming in.
Thank you
Thank you
guys
so
It's
much.
an honor to be part of episode 1.
yeah.
Yeah, well, maiden voyage. We're gonna crack a beer over the
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah,
when we
we
get
sure
out.
will.
Well. And,
Here's to many more.
Yeah, we'd love to be. Yeah,
David,
it's many for you
Vance.
guys.
Okay,
And
guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Cheersing.
Thanks for
live
being here.
on our podcast. All right. Well, bottoms up.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been great.
All right. So this has been In Session at Jackrabbit Soundcheck. You guys can find us on Facebook, In Session at Jackrabbit Soundcheck, on Twitter, InSession_JRSS. You can find us on Instagram, on YouTube. Same thing. Just look up In Session at Jackrabbit Soundcheck. We will pop up. Find our website. Subscribe to everything that you can because we're going to try and keep these coming as frequently as possible.
And please like our page, and we want to hear your feedback. So let us know.
Tell your friends, share this as much as you can. The more music that gets passed around to everybody, the better. We are going to finish the show off with the last song by Chill Russell. This is off of their first EP. It is called Death is a Poor Man's Doctor. Thank you guys so much for listening in. We will see you next time.
Doctors and lawyers and medicine men, politicians, police, and the best of your friends. Mama and Papa and even your bones. All will end up calling the grave their home. The postman and children and soldiers, of course.